Welcome to my alternative channel, Anti-War. And today on Anti-War, Abita's Ride Share, Abita Brewing Company's Ride Share. Introduced in the summer of 2023, limited series Ride Share, Triple IPA, 10% alcohol, 35 bitterness units. 35 bitterness units, IPA. Malt beverage with natural flavors. That's what it says. Malt beverage with natural flavors. Oh boy. No problem, because I've reviewed a bunch of those and given them A's. So $12.99 for the 6-pack, $12.99 for the 6-pack. This day and age, not bad for craft beer. Okay. On the main channel, somebody was saying, y'all are so biased against hazy IPAs. Hey, we're not biased against them. We found some of them that taste very good. Nice smoke. I would say, yes, we prefer the West Coast. That's just a style preference, get it? But we're not approaching the videos from the point of we have an axe to grind and we're looking to take down hazy IPAs or New England. That would not be the case. We've tasted many that were not very good. But that wasn't a style problem. That was the problem that the product wasn't very good, okay? I mean, if there's a real popular style, okay, and a bunch of people are putting out substandard versions of it, chances are you're going to have a lot of reviews that are less than stellar. I don't mean the review is bad. I mean the score is going to be less than stellar. It's not really something we can control. Okay, we're going to call it as we see it, and I'm sorry. But here we go. Not much foam, orange appearance. Orange, whether it's clear orange or hazy orange, it's orange. Now, it's not really particularly hazy like some of these extreme ones. They'll be so thick it's like milk, like a milky grain, right? You know what I'm talking about. And you can put your finger in it. It's got like gunk on it. Lupulin powder. They're adding lupulin powder, which is like a hop extract. And then it's funny. It's ironic because the craft beer people will say, look at these macro companies using hop extract. They're so, cheap. But then they'll brag on a product that's essentially doing the same thing. And then here's one that has flavoring added. I would like to try an acoustic version, an unplugged version without the natural flavoring. What would it taste like? What would it smell like? We don't know yet, if ever, probably never. Yeah, juicy, juice. If you like juice, this could be it. Aroma. Sloshed it on my face. Okay, aroma. Yeah, pretty strong barley malt. Makes sense. It's 10%. Had a 9er this morning. Sierra Nevada. Big little thing. This does have an aroma that's reminiscent of the 6%. I believe it's 6%. What was it? A juicy fruit. They said bubblegum IPA. But juicy fruit, the gum is actually chewing gum, but that was a misstatement there. But I did taste remarkably like juicy fruit. It was the same thing. It was a flavor malt beverage. Malt beverage with natural flavors. Somebody said, well, hops could be considered a natural flavor. Well, they're natural, but they're not considered a flavoring. They're an ingredient in beer. A malt beverage by law must contain hops, so it could not be considered an added flavor. It has to be there. It's not an option, okay? Barley, malt, and hops must be in a malt beverage. You can add wheat. You can add oats. You can add corn products like corn syrup. You can add high fructose corn syrup. You can add all sorts of food coloring and all sorts of flavors. Fine, no problem. But for it to be a flavored malt beverage, it must contain malt and hops. I was reading it last night on the U.S. government's Tax and Trade Bureau website. They listed the requirements. You can check it out if you like, ttb.com. It's very interesting, but you got to have the patience to go through it. But this is reminiscent of that gum, bubble gum, chewing gum, juicy, sharp, is remarkably sharp bitterness for such a low IBU product, which I found was the case with the Big Little Thing. It's a little thing as far as the IBU 45, but it's a big little thing. You know, it's got a lot of juicy hop action. So if people find that the traditional West Coast IPAs are too harsh, hop bitter, like say a Pliny the Elder, the greatest IPA in the world, or Stone IPA, Lagunitas IPA, Hop Stupid, the old retired Hop Stupid. I can see how the juicy haze craze would work. Juicy and or haze craze would work for people. And anyway, what difference does it make? If you like it, then drink it, right? And everyone bemoaning the death of Anchor, including me. Even their drag bingo nights couldn't save them. I'm not making that up. That was on their calendar every week. So, yes, that was a traditional brewer. They did traditional craft beer styles. Liberty Ale, Double Liberty Ale, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, our special ale, Anchor Steam Beer, Anchor California IPA, Anchor California Lager, Anchor Small Beer. Remember that one? Anchor Porter, great one. Anchor Old Foghorn, great barley wine. Traditional old craft beer styles that had been around really since the 1800s, the old days of craft beer before anybody called it that. Because even Molson and Labatt used to make IPAs in the 1800s when it was just considered a style of beer, not like the craft beer movement, like it's some kind of movement, you know, like we're winning. Winning what? Okay, you know, that kind of attitude. Oh, it hazed up now. Look at that. See, look, it did become opaque with the addition of the swish and pour. Okay, not so clear anymore. Okay, not so clear anymore. So yeah, I guess you could say the Haze Boys, you know, and the pastry stout, the Haze craze and the pastry stout boys killed it. But on the other hand, this is not a situation where you can dictate what people like. If that's what people liked and they wanted to chase a different brand every week, you know what I'm saying? Like the complaint was they jump brand to brand, brand to brand, and they don't support their local craft brewery and they're off to the next big craze. True. But so what? They were buying and trying, and no one told everybody and their nephew and uncle to start a craft brewery, right? So you had this flood, and I said this back in 2013, and people said, you're being negative. 2013, I said, there's too many craft beer companies on the market. It's a flooded market. It's going to crash. It's not sustainable. And they were telling me I would had some kind of like axe to grind against the craft beer movement. It was totally untrue. But I mean, craft beer brewery inflation, it reduces the value of like money, monetary inflation, it reduces the value of the dollar. So it reduced the value of the brands. And the price went up, which that's due to monetary inflation to a large extent and supply chain issues, but also due to demand. But see, what happened was it's just too much stuff on the shelf. And I go to these craft beer stores or stores that sell craft beer, and it's flooded with stuff. And it lingers on the shelf, all kind of stuff out of date. You know what I'm talking about? All kind of stuff out of date. Old, and they couldn't sell imports anymore. You never see Spaten Spaten Optimator, that faded away from here. Even some of the old upper level American macros like Michelob, Amberbach, um, things like that, just couldn't sell it because everybody wanted to run after the next thing, going to the beer festival, and those are apparently dying out. The beer festival, the brew pub, this, the that, the this, the that. And even the whole thing about chasing down the stuff. Oh, I got to go get some KBS. And now it sits on the shelf all year. Sets on the shelf all year. So I'm not saying I had some kind of great insight. Oh, you have some amazing ability. It's just looking at it, just in 2013, just looking at it, you could see. But now we see there's Anchor going, traditional where we're going. And I've been saying this all along for the 10 years. All the other ones have been fading away. They made traditional styles. When's the last time you seen? Well, look, I just did Magic Hat number 9. I remember years ago, people would say, "Oh, what a great beer company." Now they would try to distance themselves from that, talking about, "I never really liked it." Oh, really? Full Sail, Widmer Brothers, Harpoon, Shipyard, doggone Victory, even Samuel Adams with the original big, Kaboom Brewery in the 80s and early 90s. They struggle, Dogfish Head still making its way around, seemingly doing okay. Founders doing okay. But anyway, it could go on for 2 hours. I'm not going to. But this product here, I never gave it a bad score. I actually never gave it even a so-so score, like average. Average would mean a C, not even good. I didn't say that. I said it was a B minus, which means still in the good range, like good, but marginally good, but still good. Now I don't know about $12.99 for marginally good, but if I say that a beer is good, I don't know why somebody would claim that I'm saying it's bad, or that people should not be influenced by my review to not go buy the beer. Well, hey, I never said don't go buy the beer. What do I always say? You should try it though. That's just my opinion. You might say it's an A minus. Maybe you'll say it's an A plus. Doubt that, but you might. Everybody should try every beer. I've always said that. Even Camo, I threw it against the fence. Damn you, Camo. Horrendous product, monstrous, atrocity of mankind. But. What did I say? You should still try it. Now, I never had one person come back and say, I tried it and I love that stuff. I haven't had that. But one day I might. I don't know if they'll be serious, but okay. If I saw Camo Black Ice, Camo Quadruple X, if I saw those again, would I repurchase them and give them a second round? I certainly would. I definitely would. Wouldn't expect anything better. I would dread it. I would really dread how I would feel after. But I mean, I still would try it. Maybe they've improved it. I noticed they improved the stack. I was really shocked by that because I was in Alaska, Juneau, Alaska, and I was at this liquor store on Franklin Street, kind of the main street, and downtown. And I said, oh, I thought it was a nightmare when I tried it in 2009, but it wasn't 2009. Wouldn't hurt to give it a try. The price wasn't too out of line for the tall can, $3.19. Wasn't too in line either. But anyway, I was really amazed by it. And I knew that City Brewing had been improving their stuff, but just from experience, But I couldn't get over it. I could score a B plus. I still wouldn't want to drink it. No, I'm drinking this 10%, all right. That's a 9%. That one's too rich though. This one's getting close to it now. I'm not going to cover this up nicely. And the body here is high medium. The sweetness is high now. It's like juice in a way. See, I think the flavoring is some kind of juice extract, apricot juice or pulp, and they filter it to an extent, or mango. It is kind of mango-y. But what do I know for fruit? Even if I did, wouldn't even matter because it isn't. But yeah, that would be a natural flavoring, wouldn't it? I'm not against fruit flavor in beer. I'm not for it, but I'm not against it. And but it's kind of like they should have. It's saying Triple IPA in big letters, and then in almost microscopic print, so to speak, malt beverage with natural flavors. Why you didn't tout that? Now I did the mics. Yeah, I did that one. But I also did the two hoots, half and half iced tea and lemonade on a beer base, and I did the two hoots original iced tea on a beer base. And that's a malt beverage with natural flavors. And yeah, they have it in small print too now on there, but they're touting iced tea and lemonade and iced tea and lemon and so forth. It's not like they're trying to make it, like I said, triple IPA, but maybe that term doesn't mean anything anymore. From what I've been tasting it may not mean anything except personal misery. Well, this is the fourth try. One solo, a duo, another solo on Joker's Wild Wednesday, and now a fourth on the alternative channel. Got 2 bottles left. I mean, it's good in a way, which is why I'm still at a B minus. I'm not able to climb out. See, I'm thinking I'll be able to get out of a B minus and go up and then say, oh yeah, that thing is excellent. I just didn't perceive it right. I had to learn to like it. It had to grow on me, which some beers do. But nah, that ain't really happening. It's not happening. It's not really happening. It is not happening. I like the label because it reminds me, like I said in the dual review of Dazzler, that comic book from Marvel, Dazzler. I didn't buy Dazzler, but the light is catching it like crazy. It's like reflecting. They make it look like a disco ball, and it's reflecting like that. So yeah, reminding me of Dazzler is cool, but there's got to be a juice in this. I don't mean it's juicy by virtue of the hops. No. I mean it's juicy by virtue of having juice in it, or a juice, or a fruit product. It's extract, pulp, the whole thing squeezed in there and crushed up, and then they filter it out with something. I'm thinking either mango, because I've been drinking that mango cart. I've been drinking that mango cart. And it's different from this because it's 4%, this is 10, right? But I don't think the flavor is that astronomically different. I'm not seeing that. Now let's go through the ingredients one more time. Abita.com. Oh, we got trivia night tonight. They used to have that in this town. Somebody at work told me we ought to go to trivia night because I always get all that, crazy trivia answers. And she figured I could win all the prizes. but then they stopped doing it over here. See, that looks a lot clearer on on the screen. That looks like a amber ale almost. This doesn't. What I'm looking at here doesn't look like that photo, but touch of malt sweetness and slightly dry finish. Yeah, it's slightly dry, more like mostly dry, I think. It's not really that cloudy. Well, it is after the swishing. Ale yeast, pale malt, wheat, and oats. So it's a multi-grain beer. That's a lot of those flavor malt beverages to be multi-grain. Citra hops, citrus. But I don't think it's just the citra making it. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. Can't be. It's juice, some kind of juice thing. Oh well. Too bad. Yeah, so now we had an 82. 82 out of 100, 8.2. Now most people would think 82, that's good. That's 4.1 out of 10. I mean 4.1 out of 5. And when people would give 4.1 out of 5, that's usually a really good score. But if I'm saying, see, it sounds better, right? I'm giving it 4.1 out of 5. But if I say 82 out of 100, that means it's missing 18 points. It's 18 things missing, 18 percentage points. Right. So we got 18 problems. Okay. It's all right. I mean, yeah, it's all right. It's good. It is good to an extent. People say, are you going to keep qualifying with that? You're right. I'm going to keep qualifying. That's why it's a B minus. So if you want to pay $12.99 for a B minus beer, be my guest. I did it. Ain't going to happen again. But yeah, well, I hope and I know they will keep coming out with new and exciting things, some of which are successful, like the French toast stout, pastry boys. I guess I'm one of those kind of people. PB and jams. Yeah. Barney, all that crazy stuff. And I'll keep trying it. And you notice I never actually complained really. Oh, that was in the old days, like 10 years ago, I would complain about adding flavor in the beer. Because I was looking at it from like the camera, campaign for real ale, like that kind of perspective. Like ale should be water, barley malt, hops, yeast, Reinheitsgebot, and that's it. And if you add flavoring on rice, on corn, you're violating everything that's right about beer, unless you're a macro, and then it's okay because you're a big time producer. But you know what I mean? Then I started thinking, well, I don't think I understand the industry as well as I should. And over time, I was like, I guess there's nothing wrong with it. Heck, is it a true beer? Well, that's debatable. But it's a true flavor beer, and if it tastes good and you like it, okay, fine. I mean, personally, I'd rather not drink them, but they're everywhere. They're ubiquitous. So, I try, the chocolate stouts, the coffee, Mackinac fudge, the doggone bubble gum, and the salted caramel, and the wedding cake, and the birthday cake, and the red chocolate cake, all these stouts. Yeah, well, I mean, hey, but I'm not fooling myself. I know what I'm dealing with. All right. If I'm drinking salted caramel bourbon, I know it's not really bourbon. It's salted caramel bourbon. All right. Liqueur, right? So these are basically like beer liqueurs. And that's a good way to look at it. All right. Thanks, everybody.